Happy New Year.
Welcome back, Happy New Year.
Yep, 2022.
Yeah, here we are.
Here we are again.
I had high hopes for how this year was going to start out, and it's not living up to those standards.
Nope.
So maybe a little wine will help.
A little wine will help, yes. And
I'm hoping.
Cheese, wine, and beef.
As you'll see, we have a little bit healthier spread here tonight because after all, it is the beginning of the year and everybody, of course, has their New Year's resolutions probably to be healthier, so...
We make resolutions. We did.
My resolution was to drink more wine.
I
don't know about you, but that was my resolution.
I wanted 3 or 4 pounds. I told her I got to lose 3 or 4 pounds. I get on the scale.
Okay, well we're on the right start. We're pretty healthy. Like we exercise and we're pretty active.
Yep.
And we try to watch what we eat and do all the normal things that you do.
We
try to stay healthy. But something else that you may not think about is when you're drinking your wine and your alcohol and how many added sugars and everything else that you're trying to be good and count your calories.
You're trying to be healthy.
But you don't realize and you don't count the calories that are in your wine.
Do you count calories? Because I do. I do. She does.
Wine is magical calories.
Yes.
And they don't count.
They don't count.
But
they don't count.
If you drink clean crafted wine, they are very low in calories, very low in carbs.
Yes.
Because of the very low residual sugars and never any added sugars or added chemicals.
Or sulfites. There may be some sulfites, but very little.
They're very low in sulfites too. So if you're still working on trying to come up with your New Year's resolution, you might want to add clean crafted wine to your list.
I can tell you, I watched a video on how wines are made, and you would not believe the pesticides.
Animal byproducts. That are put into the process.
Are put into wines.
Of making the wine, or that they add to the wine to try to give it a particular color.
And you wonder why you don't feel good.
Yeah, after you drink the wine the next day, you're like, oh.
You have a couple of glasses of wine, you and your significant other, and then all of a sudden you have a headache, you have a pounding headache, or dry mouth and all that. I can tell you honestly, I don't get that from drinking these wines. These wines are all made like that specifically. And I can tell you, they're made specifically for that purpose, so you're not getting all that junk, you're getting the pure taste of the grape. And it's wonderful.
So keep it in line with the healthier you in 2022.
It's not diet wine.
Don't you? No, it's not diet. It's full of flavor. Don't think for a second that because it's low sugar or that it doesn't have any of that added stuff to it that it's not going to taste very good or it's going to taste really bland, because this is exceptional taste. And this is how wine is supposed to taste.
Okay, so give us the rundown on the Mixtrack Red Blend.
Okay, well first we have to do the sniff.
Okay, ready?
And see what you get in there. Now this is pretty dark in color.
Now I want to do a side note here. I have opened the bottles up usually 10-15 minutes before the video and they breathe. So I don't know, and the people out there that watch these videos, I do let them breathe a little bit. So
if you know anything about wines and the difference in taste too between when it's just room temperature versus when it's been chilled, that it makes a difference in how the wine does taste. And you might like it one way more than the other, and that's totally up to your personal preference. We always drink our wine at room temperature.
I like it room temperature.
Well, our red at room temperature. We are.
I like the white at room temperature too.
I like my white chilled.
Well,
I just think it tastes better that way.
You say potato, I say potato.
I know, to each his own.
Let's call the whole thing off.
So, okay, are you smelling anything in particular in this wine?
I am smelling boysenberry, blackberry.
Wow, that's very specific.
Very rich, very rich, hearty wine.
Okay.
And why don't you read the...
Okay, so this is a red blend. So let's start off with, it's 48% Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay, so that's pretty much the predominant
I can taste that.
Flavor of what you're going to get in this wine. 46% Syrah. Okay.
That's it. That's just the smell I'm getting.
And then 6%, I don't know how to pronounce this particular grape. Carmenere? I have no idea how to pronounce that. It didn't come with a pronunciation guide.
Carmenere.
I don't know. There's a lot of accents in there, and I've never seen
that. Well, that's a Spanish word, maybe.
It's a very small percentage of there. I'm sure it adds some little flair to the taste of this wine. I'm not sure what it is, but it's still interesting.
But I will say this honestly. This is the tastes. See, this is the beautiful thing about red blends. See, I love red blends. The beautiful thing about red blends is that you're getting a little bit of everything. You know, straight up Cabernet Sauvignons. That's not a big favorite of ours.
Normally cabs seem to be too dry for me.
Too dry and heavy. But I can tell you, with the red blends, you're getting a little bit of everything, and I love this wine.
So it's important to look at what the blends are because each red blend is different. Now this one in particular was a collaboration with another clean crafted brand that we work with called Etnico. And I love to tell this story because Etnico was the first clean crafted wine I ever tasted before, and that's what got me hooked. It was specifically the Etnico Pinot Noir.
Getting your hair done?
Yes, but yes.
Who's getting her hair done?
Someone who introduced me to it. Yes, on my long locks, which I'm going to be going. I'm wearing the hat right now because my roots need to be done. So we're just going to go with that right now.
No, she's beautiful.
But this, I was drawn to this particular wine because they said it was a collaboration with Etnico, and I know all of their wines are fantastic. So
yes.
And you say not a disappointment at all. So you like the way
I
this
would say there's no peppery back to the back of the throat, but I just ate the locatelli. Hold on.
I do get that little bit of dryness, but it is
now I do.
Definitely very bold and full of flavor.
After I eat locatelli,
oh yeah, that's nice.
Extra pungent Romano cheese, which we carve it off the block. We don't skimp here. When you eat that extra pungent cheese, maybe some Asiago, you get a little bite in the back of the throat with the cheese. A little bite.
So this is interesting. That I know you always talk about the bite in the back of your throat. It says fans of Bordeaux and California Cabernets will really enjoy this wine because of its structure. Its rich notes of black raspberry, dried oregano, tobacco.
I'm not getting to
and hints of black pepper and violet. I do get a little bit of the floral like violet.
This goes good with steak. This goes really good with steak.
So I'm getting to that next.
Okay.
So we were talking about how we did have this aired for a little bit. We had it open for about 15 minutes or so before we started drinking tonight. And the growers do say that the longer you leave it out to breathe, the more the flavors evolve and become really silky and smooth. And I do agree, this is pretty smooth.
I had some New York strip steak that I made last night that I sliced up. And I can tell you right now, this is straight up a steak wine.
Oh yeah.
This is a steak
Cabs
wine.
normally go really well with steaks anyway. But it does pair well with fajitas.
Fajitas, steak fajitas maybe.
And anything off the grill. So think like barbecue and burgers and anything
hamburgers.
Like that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, big fat hamburgers.
Oh yeah, that's why we're kind of thinking about sliders.
We were going to do it. One of these videos we're going to do it.
But you know, some little like
we might do fish tacos.
Steak slices. Yeah, we could do fish tacos. Not, I don't think with this wine in particular, but maybe with our other Mixtrack that we were sampling a little bit earlier.
Yeah, maybe the Sauvignon Blanc, the
I
other
think
video.
That might go
You can watch the other video prior to this. But I can tell you right now, this is definitely a unique red blend.
No, this is interesting. So it's 13.5% alcohol, but the residual sugars is 5.1 grams per liter, which is a little on the high end. We don't have a lot of wines that have that much natural sugar in them. Most of them are less than a gram per liter of residual sugar. So this doesn't taste overly sweet to me, though.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. This is it's not light. It's not too light, but it's not too heavy. That's why I said when you eat the steak, you have to try the steak.
Oh no, I love this wine.
You try the steak with it, it's absolutely rock and roll, baby.
No, I'm trying some of this cheese here that has the Dijon, the herb crusted, the Dijon mustard on it. Because you do think, okay, burgers, you have some mustard and everything on it. So I'm trying to go that route.
How about a Big Mac? You want a Big Mac?
No, quarter pounder with cheese.
Quarter pounder with cheese. I don't know, the big debate. What do you think? Oh yeah, it enhanced the
I think this would just go great with everything.
Yes, it would, and I think I'm going to have a little bit more of that.
I'm going to be doing a little more sampling over here. I am going to touch into some of
my steak before for them.
My healthy foods after we're done here.
The steak is hot, it's lean. There's some fat in there.
Yeah.
There's some marbling.
A
little bit of marbling.
The doctors do tell you to limit your red meat intake, even if it's lean, because that can raise your cholesterol.
That's good, isn't it? That's the rub I put on the brisket. It's really good.
You come up with all these inventive, special rubs.
Good strip steak, isn't it? She'll eat the rest of that steak later. Trust me.
Yeah.
It's really good. What do you think? Steak wine?
It definitely is a steak wine. I will say with the steak, I normally don't get the bite in the back of my throat when he gets it.
You're getting it?
But I get it now with the steak. But honestly, it complements it so well. It's delicious.
Oh yeah. Well, it enhances the flavor of beef. I would not have this with chicken.
No. No, there was just something I was gonna.
Why don't you read? She has something.
I have a little something to share about this particular label, the Mixtrack brand. It has this unique story, and I felt like I had to share it with you guys. So if you'll bear with me for a moment, I'm gonna read off my phone. So it says, there's a reason why we love a good mix track. It's not just some random assortment of songs, after all. There are musical moments thoughtfully curated, that the soundtrack, that story of our lives. First kisses, last dances, road trips, life's biggest victories, and our sourest defeats. We create mix tracks for those we love as a way to tell those stories. Remember, like, we used to make mix tracks back when cassette tapes were a thing.
I made a mix track for the house up in New York.
And and CDs too, back when you would like download the songs and you would run
Songs
into
that
a
remind
CD.
you of a certain person or a situation.
Or a certain time in your life, or I used to do that all the time.
I still do it.
Well, now you can just create playlists. You don't even need the CDs or the cassette tapes or anything anymore. But like, we're kind of dating ourselves.
Yes.
But so the same is true for the art of wine growing. From the seed all the way to the cellar, wine tells a deep personal story brought to life by its maker. The years of hard work, the meticulous attention to detail, and it all culminates in a bottle made by the maker for the drinker to spark a connection from the very first sip. I just think it just talks about the personal relationship that you have. For those of you who really do love wine, and the feeling that you get when you drink these wines, and just the flavors and the taste, they do sometimes bring back memories.
Brings back memories and the conversations that you have with other people. You know, like we have a deep conversation about something over a bottle of wine, and we'll remember that. The next time we drink this bottle of wine, we'll remember that.
Oh yeah, and the way the wine makes you feel.
And it makes you want to drink it again.
And just the flavor adventure that you go on from the first sip, and then how it evolves and changes from the first sip of the glass to the end. And like I said, chilled versus room temperature, and the different foods that you serve it with. Wine is just such a personal experience. We can only do so much here, and we hope we convey to you.
It is a personal experience, really. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. I drink a lot of beer, trust me, but I can tell you I love wine, and I became a wine connoisseur in my late 20s. But I can tell you that the honest truth is that every single bottle is an experience. And I'm not talking about the cheap stuff. We're talking about the good stuff here, okay? And the good stuff takes you on a journey. Like she just read, it does take you on a journey. Mm-hmm. And situations in life, like we may have an intimate conversation about something that happened at work or this or that, and the next time we have this wine, we'll remember that conversation. Maybe a romantic conversation.
Well, that's true.
Maybe a romantic interlude. But it's like, well, that's going to happen anyway.
Well, yeah, of course.
I have to wipe off the lipstick.
Well, and again, like just the personal experience for you, the way we experience the wine, we think it's fantastic, and we want everybody to try it because we think it's so good, and we want you to understand the difference. But the really only true way you can understand that
is to try it.
Is to try it yourself.
Try it yourself, and here's the beauty of it is, when we do our wine parties, if you come to our wine parties, we're going to post the links, the dates. If you come to our wine parties, we have a lot of fun. We do all the same stuff we do here.
And you get to sample some really great wines.
You have to sign power of attorney over to us for the video.
Oh, that stuff.
So we can put you on the video. No, we will ask you. If we're going to do a pop-up video, we'll ask you first, and you have to give us permission. But you can sample everything that we're going to do at that particular wine party, and we will announce it in advance. We're having one on January 15th, Saturday, January 15th.
Not that far off.
Not that far off. And I'm going to post that on all of our different social media accounts, all of it. And we should make a little video just for that part.
We could do that. I do want to add as well that if you want to take a chance on these wines and you want to give some of them a try, whether it's just a couple of bottles or if you want to do a whole 6-bottle, yes, we'll post a link for how you can order the wines. Scout Cellar is a great company, so if there is a particular wine that you try and you're like, I absolutely just did not like that, you can reach out to their customer support and explain to them what your issue was, and they will either refund your money or they will send you a different bottle of wine that hopefully you will like better.
And I'm not kidding you when I tell you, it's not even about promoting this company, it's about promoting a healthier lifestyle through wine. We love wine, we love to drink wine, and it's definitely much more healthier, and I feel better. Since I started drinking this wine, I feel better. I'll be honest with you, I had headaches, I'd wake up and I'd be at the dry mouth, because we drink a lot of wine. I'm not getting that anymore. It's gone. It's like, whoosh,
Yeah, these are really great wines.
They're great wines.
Cheers, everybody. Hope your new year is off to a great start.
Yes.
And we will see you again soon in another Wine Down Wednesday.
Click like, subscribe, please. Comment, send us questions, whatever you got to do, but like and subscribe to our channels. We love you. Happy New Year.
Bye.